It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is Spencer. I lost my breath because I didn't breathe. Welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer, and this is episode F151. That was not a good way to talk. Nobody should be talking like that. The first word in this episode is flying fox. We are going to have so many flying things in this episode. I wish there were things flying across me, across the video, the whole episode. So, the flying fox is two words. It is a noun from 1759. I think this episode is going to have a lot of things to be posted to the social media. Like this one, the synonym is fruit bat. Fruit bat. It's a fruit. No, it's not a fruit. It's a bat that likes to eat fruit. And it flies 'cause it's a bat. And people say it looks like a fox. And maybe we just need to quickly look up a picture of a flying fox. It's not literally a fox. Don't be confused. Please don't be confused by the name. It just maybe looks like a fox. Yeah, they have a cute friggin' face. That is what they have. They all see, there are some bats that don't have cute faces. This one has a very cute face. It kind of looks like a dog. But they also have like a fair amount of orange on them, which is why I think they're called flying foxes. How big are they? How big? Wingspan of 1.5 meters, which is about 5 feet. That's almost as long as me. Head and body length of about 40 centimeters, which is 16 inches. 1 foot and 4 inches is the length of the body. And then the wings are a whole other story. Okay, flying fox, fruit bat, great. My sound effect today is going to be something like this, which I will change throughout the episode probably. Now we have a word I had to look up beforehand on how to pronounce it. This is flying gurnard. Two words. Gurnard is Gurnard. There is no pronunciation here because it's two semi-common words, or one common word and one not at all common word. So I had to go look up gurnard. Gurnard. This is a noun from 1792. This is any of several marine fishes that resemble gurnards and have large pectoral fins, allowing them to glide above the water for short distances. The family name is Dactylopteridae. Dactylopteridae. So, I'm seeing dactyl in there, makes me think of fingers and digits. I'm seeing pater, which makes me think of wings. And so it's like the wings are the fingers, and maybe we need to look up a picture of this flying gurnard. So they resemble gurnards, so they're not actually gurnards, and gurnards are a kind of fish. I did look that up, and now I have to find the G. Here we go. Gurnard. Let's just do this. Okay, so, oh, yes. Oh, these have beautiful, beautiful wing-like fins. These, what they call them, the pectoral, large pectoral fins. If the body is this size, the fin is this size. It's huge. It's a big flat plate, pretty much, with like a bright blue edge around it, and spots and thorny things on the edge. Oh yeah, this is a good one. You got to look up a picture of the flying gurnard. What else did it say? Glide above the water for short distances. Yeah, I could see that. With the fin that size, you could probably do that. Is this similar to the flying fish? I don't think so. It has a similar thing that it can do. This says the flying gurnard, also known as the helmet gurnard, is a bottom-dwelling fish of tropical to warm temperate waters. Okay, wonderful. That's another picture that's going on the social media. The flying gurnard. Sounds like a gymnastics troupe who does trapeze things and stuff. The flying Gurnards, look at them fly through the air. They're fish, so it needs to be in water. Next, we have flying jib, J-I-B, noun from 1711. A sail outside the jib on an extension of the jib boom. And it says to see the sail illustration, and we won't get to see that until we get to the S's. So this is a sail on a boat. The sail outside the jib, it's the flying jib. It's not the jib, it's the flying jib. It's on an extension of the jib boom, which is J-I-B-B-O-O-M, the jib boom. All right, yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about the sailing, other than they say fun words and phrases. Next, we have flying lemur. 2 words, noun from 1883. Another picture for the socials. Either of 2 East Indian or Philippine arboreal nocturnal mammals that are about the size of a cat, that make long gliding leaps using a broad fold of skin on each side attached to and extending between the limbs, and that are placed in a separate order. So, let's see, the species names for these the two of them, one's East Indian and one's Philippine, they are Cynocephalus volans and also Cynocephalus variegatus. And then it says that they are placed in a separate order. And, you know, we got the kingdom and the order and the phylum and all those things. And, you know, the order's in there somewhere. The order is Dermoptera. Again, we see the Ptera, which makes me think of wings. So, and yes, because they got this flap of skin in between their limbs, this flap of skin between their limbs, it's kind of like a wing kind of thing. And that's why they are flying lemurs. And now we, of course, need to look up a picture of the flying lemur. Oh boy, we got another cute one here. Well, this one does not look very big. There's pictures of it holding on to a tree. You know, and this has some major flaps. Major flaps. It's not like a small little flap. No, it's there all the time. You see this? It goes all the way from the hand all the way to the feet, and it's just a big flap in between that area. And if I had one of these, I could fly very well, or at least glide. So cute. So cute with bulgy eyes. The flying lemur. Okay, anything else to say about these? Long gliding leaps. You broad fold. Yep, they're going from tree to tree. Limb to limb. And the skin extends from limb to limb. All right, next. We have flying machine, 2 words, noun from 1736. An apparatus for navigating the air. Just literally anything that you can use to go through the air can be called a flying machine. I think Da Vinci tried to invent one or more of these flying machines. Don't know if they ever worked. People have made models. And then, you know, just anything that can fly is a flying machine. I want a bike pedaled flying machine. I know they tried to make those. All right, that's it for flying machine. Now we go flying mare, 2 words. Mare is M-A-R-E. Noun from 1754. A wrestling maneuver. Interesting, did not expect that. In which an opponent is seized by the wrist and thrown to the ground by being pulled over the back of the aggressor. The aggressor is very aggressive. So they take the wrist and they throw them over their back. In what direction is this happening? which an opponent is seized by the wrist and thrown to the ground by being pulled over the back. Is it like they grab from behind them like this, and then they lean forward and flip them over that way? Or is it a sideways thing? Is it, how do you, I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do the flying mare. Why is it mare? I mean, mare is a horse, and so is it because it's going over the back? It's like you're riding a horse or something? I don't know. It's a funny name for a move. From the 1700s? I mean, I know wrestling has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. You know, the Greeks were wrestling way back in the original Olympics and stuff, you know, so it's been around. Yeah, you don't really think about, it just seems like a different thing. You don't think about a wrestling maneuver called the flying mare from the 1700s. I don't know. All right, wrestling is very old, and it sure has evolved. If the original Greeks saw the wrestling of today, you know, like the WWE situation, they would be shocked that everybody was wearing clothes. Next is flying officer, 2 words, noun from 1913. A commissioned officer in the British Air Force who ranks with a first lieutenant in the Army. I don't know nothing else about this, what to say about that. Next is flying saucer. Could you tell that my sounds were, I think, how flying saucers sound? 2 words, noun from 1947. 1947, this is right around when the Roswell thing happened. Nobody thought about flying saucers before that? This is any of various unidentified... Boy, I think I'm having trouble with my L's. Unidentified flying objects, usually described as being saucer-shaped or disc-shaped. Saucer-shaped, like literally like the saucer of a dish saucer, except it's usually like a saucer on a saucer. One's upside down because it's got that sort of shape. Yeah, I don't know why saucer shaped. Like, is this what people have seen? And so they're like, yeah, it looks like that. And now it's like every sort of alien thing we think of is immediately saucer shaped because they've got some fancy technology that allows that sort of thing to fly. We don't know how to make something like that fly. We need wings and the jet propulsion things. But I don't think humans are able to make a circular thing fly through the air, you know, to be controlled. You can take a frisbee and throw it, but that's a different thing altogether. Although that would be funny if the flying saucers were literally just like frisbees that had been flung from their home planet and they just go. We're just going to spin you and you're going to fly. You're just going to land where you land. You cannot control this thing. You're a frisbee. You're a flying machine frisbee. Okay, flying saucer. I would love to see a flying saucer in the real life. Unidentified flying object, UFO. That is not the phrase we're using anymore. It's something else. Unidentified. I can't remember what we're using now. UPS. You are great. I can't remember. The flying saucer makes the sound like... Now we have flying spot. 2 words. Noun from 1933. When you throw your dog in the air, it becomes a flying spot. Why didn't I minimize this page? I should have minimized that a while ago. Flying spot is a spot of light moved over a surface as one bearing printing or an image, so that light reflected from or transmitted by different parts of the surface is translated into electrical signals for transmission. Transmission what? Like what is being transmissed? A television or computer. Okay, I am very confused by this. A spot of light moved over a surface as one bearing printing or an image. So the surface has an image on it, or a printing of some kind on it, so that the light reflected from it or transmitted by different parts of the surface, it's translated into electrical signals. Okay, I mean, I get this, but I've never heard of this. I don't understand this. So it's like if you want to transmit this signal, this thing is from 1933. So this is something I don't think we are using this flying spot anymore. I can't imagine we would be. I think our technology has gotten way, way too good to be still using the flying spot. And so I guess it was like the light is looking at the thing just maybe a little bit at a time, and then there must be a camera or something. That image is turned into an electrical signal which can be sent out over the airwaves for people to see. And I'm sure they were like, look at this fancy technology that we made. I feel like I need to look this up because I'm so... I need the visual. There's a flying spot scanner. So maybe we are using this in some way. Device that uses a rapidly moving spot of light to scan an image, converting it into electrical signals for transmission, as seen in early television technology and other applications. Okay. Interesting. Optical digital memory. Wow. Okay, cool. So, yeah, maybe it's not used a whole lot, but maybe in certain ways in these days in the 21st century, we're still using it, but it was mostly used, I guess, for early television technology, the flying spot. Never heard of that before. Next is flying squad, 2 words, noun from 1925. A usually small standby group of people ready to move or act swiftly, but especially a police unit formed to respond quickly in an emergency. They are the squad of people. Some people have a squad. AOC has a squad. It's a squad of people who are ready to not literally, because they can't fly, but they are ready to jump into action, fly into action. So they're the flying squad. They're at your side at all times. I have a flying squad right here, right out of the shot. You can't see them, but they're ready to go in case something happens. In case I fall down, they will jump in to continue hosting. I hope I never have to use the flying squad, but they're ready to go. Next is flying squirrel. Another picture. This is the oldest one we've seen so far. It's a noun from 1591. Either of 2 small nocturnal North American squirrels with folds of skin connecting the forelegs and hind legs that enable it to make long gliding leaps. Also, any of various squirrels that possess a patagium, which I assume would be that fold of skin. And of course, I'm going to assume that this is going to look very similar to the flying lemur. But, just for my due diligence, we got to look up pictures. And oh yes, we got another cute one. It looks more like your typical squirrel, but it's got those folds. It's got the long, extended skin, that goes from the hand all the way to like the feet, the knee, the ankle, whatever you want to call it on a squirrel. And they leap, and they go, woo! And then they glide. Wonderful flying squirrels. Let's post a picture of those on the social media. And we got species names for these guys, just like the lemurs. We have Glaucomis volans and Glaucomis sabrinus. Now, volans, I think, was the same, for the flying lemur, volans was in there as well. So I wonder what that means. Does it something to do with flying, gliding, looking cute? One of those, probably. Okay, fantastic flying squirrel. Now we have flying start. 2 words, noun from 1851. Number 1, a start in racing in which the participants are already moving when they cross the starting line or receive the starting signal. I believe I have seen, is it in NASCAR racing? Are they already moving by the time they're going? I don't know. I don't really watch that stuff. But yeah, usually, in Mario Kart, you start the race, your car isn't moving. And if you hit the acceleration at the wrong time, you're gonna not peel out. You're gonna spin around. You're gonna fishtail because you hit the button too early. But if you hit it at just the right time, when the lights and the beeping is going, you can get a real good start. It's almost like a flying start, but you're still starting from nothing. But a flying start, you're already flying. You're already going. Number 2 is a favorable start of something. Anything that starts in a good way could be called a flying start. It's like you already had the momentum to get going. And I will tell you that 6+ years into this podcast, there was no flying start. I'm looking for a flying end if I'm lucky. No, I don't like that sound at all. Next, we have flying wedge. 2 words, noun from 1909. A moving formation, as of guards or police, resembling a wedge. Why are they flying? Are they just walking? Are they moving? Does that make them fly? A flying wedge. All right, police, get in a wedge shape for some reason and go. Now you are called a flying wedge. That is a weird one. Next is fly leaf. We have finished the flying words, but we have more fly words. Fly leaf, noun, from 1832. One of the free end papers of a book. The end papers of a book. And they're free, and this is one of them. It is the fly leaf. I don't know all the terms of a book. So I guess it's one of the pages at the end. Maybe it's one of those blank pages they put in for some reason. I don't know. It's a fly leaf. Great. Next is fly man. Of course, I have to do the joke again because it's the right situation. Fly man. Fighter of the horseman. This is a noun from 1881, a worker in the flies of a theater who manipulates curtains and scenery. It's a very important job. What did we see in the previous episode? We saw, I think it was fly gallery? Fly gallery. Yeah, that's where they're stored. That's where they're operated. So the fly man is working in the fly gallery. Running the flies, running the scenery, running that stuff. And I hope the ropes don't break. Next is fly net, 2 words. Now, didn't we see something else about a fly net in the previous episode? Where was that? There was something, fly catcher. Fly catcher was maybe using a fly net. Is that what I said? I think I did. So the fly net is a noun from before the 12th century, a net to exclude or keep off insects, as from a harness horse. Do you put the fly net on the harness horse? I have not heard of a harness horse. That's a harness horse. A lot of huh sounds. But yes, this is an incredibly important piece of material that is very cheap to make. Remember hearing some statistic about, for like just a small handful of dollars, people can send them over to places like Africa where they have, insects and flies and mosquitoes that are passing along malaria. And it's like the cheapest, best thing that you can do to stop the spread of these terrible, terrible diseases. And it's cheap. It's cheap. So fly nets are real good. Net to exclude or keep off insects. Yes, that's what it is. I guess insect net is maybe a little bit harder to say than fly net. It's not just flies that they're getting rid of. People are draping this over their bed when they're sleeping and stuff. Very important. Go send some fly nets to places that need them. Next is fly on the wall. Fly on the wall. Are there any flies on the wall here? 4 words with hyphens. Adjective from 1974. Having or involving an inconspicuous but effective point of observation. As in, fly on the wall observations of aspects of daily life. And that is a quote from William, well, it just says Will Manley. I just assumed his name was William. Will Manley was talking about fly on the wall observations of aspects of daily life. This is when you are just watching people and you're very inconspicuous about it. Maybe you're hiding in the bushes. Maybe you are hiding in the rafters. Maybe you're just hanging out, having a coffee at a cafe outside, and you're watching the people go by. And I very much enjoy this. I sometimes I'm like, I just want to watch people and have them not know that I'm watching them, not in a creepy way, but like just observing people and like seeing the clothes that they're wearing, see how they act, and just like the people are just endlessly fascinating. I love going to like fairs or cons or things like that, and it's just the people watching is the best part of that. It's just so fun and so cool. We're actually going to a convention soon, and we went to it last year, and there was a time where I was by myself just waiting. A number of times I was waiting, and it's a big convention in Chicago, and I was just watching the people. And, at places like this, you're getting all types, and I love being a fly on the wall. But I also love the phrase, the idea of, oh, if I were I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that situation. Be in the room where it happened. Just to hang out, be in the corner. Nobody knows that I'm there. I'm just like a tiny little fly that's just aware of human behavior and speech, and I'm just watching everything with my compound eyeballs. And I'm just hanging out, waiting and hoping I don't get smacked by a fly swatter, which we're going to see in the next episode. Fly on the wall. Can't we just be invisible sometimes? Just watch people on the street. Okay, next, fly on the wall is done, and now we're going to move on to... Okay, maybe it's another flying saucer sound. I don't know. What do they sound like? Now we have fly over, one word noun from 1901. Number 1 is British. The synonym is overpass. So is this like on the highways? The highways and the byways? One street is literally over another street in a perpendicular fashion. They call that a flyover. Number 2 is the number 1 definition for flyby, which we got to go back here to see that one. What was it, the number 1? The number 1 definition for flyby is a prearranged, usually low-altitude flight by one or more airplanes over a public gathering. Like in an air show. Yes, they do a flyover to make everybody go, whoa, that was so cool and loud, and the planes went right over my head. It's as if they flied over me. Next, we have fly paper, one word, noun from 1846. Paper, coated with a sticky, often poisonous substance for killing flies. Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but also some places you just need the fly paper to get rid of. There's just too many flies, and it's they're like hanging from the ceiling, and they're usually curly for some reason. And I've seen many images of these in movies, and they're always in a place that's just gross and dingy. Fly paper. I have not had to deal with fly paper for a very, very long time. Maybe when I was a kid. I'm just trying to make some weird sounds. And I think this microphone is getting probably wet from my spit. Now we have fly past, noun from 1914. It's chiefly British, and the synonym is the number one definition for flyby, which was all about the planes doing a flyover or a flyby, also called a fly past. The British people, they always got to change up their terms. They're using different terms than us just because they want to. They're like, no, we don't want the same things. We want slightly different, sometimes better, sometimes worse terms. Fly over, fly past, fly... Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the last one. That hurt my throat. I was trying to make as many different sounds at the same time as I could. We now have fly rod. Last word, 2 words, noun from 1684. A light, springy fishing rod used in fly casting. Fly rodder is a noun. Wouldn't you just say fly fisherman? Or fly fisher? No. Fly rod. It is light and springy. It's got flowers blooming on it. I don't know. Never done it. Not going to do it. You need the fly rod to fly cast the flies when you're fly fishing. Okay, let's pick a word of the episode. It's a very exciting time of the day for Let's Do It Now. Flying fox, flying gurnard, flying jib, flying lemur, flying machine, flying mare, flying officer, flying saucer, flying spot, flying squad, flying squirrel, flying start, flying wedge, fly leaf, fly man, fly net, fly on the wall, fly over, fly paper, fly past, fly rod. Let's pick fly on the wall as the word of the episode. Like, I always think about going to just describing what I'm doing. I'm going to a fair, I'm watching the people, I'm like a fly on the wall, watching the people. They're so interesting and cool, and I just want to watch them all the time because they're so weird and fascinating. What is that dude wearing? What is her hair like? I'm a fly on the wall. Okay, whatever. People are fun. Now, I'm going to tell you about a movie that I watched last night. We went to see my friend's movie, very independently made in Chicago over, I think it said 8 years or something, in some capacity, is called Split Personalities, Alternate Dimensions. And it's sort of, I think it said it's like a film in 4 parts, and it's this very sort of unique, experimental, abstract, heavily influenced by David Lynch film, and it's just weird and fun. And I think, and in fact, he was quoted as saying, "I will not be offended if people leave the movie partway through if they're not enjoying it." Yeah, if you want to see some strange filmmaking. Maybe strange is very judgmental. No, I don't mean to say that. It's just, it's a certain genre of filmmaking that some people love and not everybody loves. And in fact, he had a playlist going as people were coming in, and one of the songs was They Might Be Giants' song, Experimental Film. And so, yes, you could call this an experimental film. But if you want to see some stuff like that, go check out, if you can, Split Personalities, Alternate Dimensions. It might not even be available streaming because I think he's trying to keep it. He was selling VHS. He was selling the movie on VHS. And I don't know if it's going to be available anywhere other than, screenings. And I saw this. Sharon and I went last night. We saw it at Facets in Chicago, which I had never, ever been to, but I had heard about it for a very long time. And this is a very cool place that is dealing with film that is not the mainstream typically, and I really appreciate that. And they've been around for 50 years, and we need more places like this. Art film, foreign film, films dealing with topics that don't usually get dealt with, cult films, whatever it is. facets is dealing with that. And they have a little rental space as well, including a screening room. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking out this show. Please go tell some people about it. If you want to hear words and learn things and hear sound effects and silly, dumb jokes, that's what I bring to the table. This has been Spencer, dispensing information. I can't fly. Goodbye.